Brad Delosa is the single most successful athlete in the trophy format. His dominance on the world stage has earned him 3 victories in this gut-wrenching format. In 2014, Brad took his first title in Budapest.
Oh my God, it's going to be Australia!
He backed it up in 2015.
Great form from Delosa.
And in 2017, he showcased his dominance once more.
Sterling Hart right there with him. This is going to be tight. Brad Delosa hitting it hard. Sterling Hart going at it as well. Delosa's top is loose and Delosa gets it in a 1:02.71. Oh my goodness, how close was that?
But it would be a few years until he had the opportunity again.
Go!
Battling against the toughest competitors in the world on home turf in Australia would be Delosa's biggest challenge.
Who'll get it? Delosa? No, it's O'Toole who takes the win.
And when you're up against the top guys, yeah, you really haven't got any breathing space.
But in 2022, in a hard-fought final, Delosa took the Australian title after Braden Meyer was disqualified.
So it's official, the judges have deliberated and issued a DQ for Meyer and deemed the action unsafe for the other athlete. And that is a disappointing situation for Meyer.
Yeah, it is disappointing to win under the circumstances, now with the DQ from Braden. But to get back on top's a great feeling and something I very proud of.
This earned Delosa the opportunity for a 4th World Trophy title. Arriving in Europe, Delosa will have the opportunity to hit it out at the training camp in Hoorn, Holland.
Yeah, so we come over for the training camp. We've got Jack, the young rookie, and also Amanda for the ladies' competitions. Very important to get off the plane to be able to have a bit of a stretch out and, also, just hone in on the skills, get the eye in a little bit and everything before we head across to Vienna for the main competition.
Having won the trophy title 3 times, Delosa is in form for his 4th title campaign.
Yeah, it certainly takes a lot of motivation. After you've won something, I think it's never quite the same driving to win it again. The first time's always a big buzz. But, look, I'm quite a competitive person. I really enjoy the competition. So preparation has been quite good. And this year I've had a really good start to the season with winning the Australian Trophy, also winning the Single Soaring World Championship at Sydney Shows. So that sort of puts a little bit of a spring back in your step. And, feeling, really good leading into this comp.
Delosa's experience in the trophy format is second to none, and his laser focus is what's needed to get himself into the winning position.
Yeah, look, I just think about what I've got to do. I sort of try to block out anything else that's around and just focus on the job at hand. And, make sure you don't make any mistakes and, perform in them through 4 events, basically, as the best you can.
In the grueling trophy format, which Brad will compete, athletes will go head-to-head in a competition that sees them complete 4 disciplines back-to-back. After the start, they need to cut a complete disc with the stock saw in a 10-centimetre area. From there, they complete the underhand chop as quickly as possible before moving back to the starting point to saw a complete cookie with the single buck. In the final discipline, the athletes need to complete the standing block chop in order to finish the race and beat their opponent. And it will be in Vienna that Brad Delosa will test his mettle against the best.
Yeah, once you get to Vienna, you've got to get in the right mindset. It's getting close to the competition then, so it's time to switch on. Try to stay relaxed and, not get too involved in too much. Once you arrive there, the atmosphere's there and all the other competitors there. And, that's when you start to, get switched on and ready for the game day. I'm really motivated for the fourth title. You know, I think any great competitor, it doesn't take too much to motivate you. And yeah, also, you know, once you get a great opportunity like this, you grab it with both hands. And yeah, really looking forward to the World Trophy in Vienna. Yeah, look, I think I've got what it takes. I can't have done much more. I've trained really good. Everything's been going well. Equipment's really good. No reason that I can't win it if everything goes to plan, and I'll put the best performance on the stage when it counts.
Coming up, Delosa and wildcard Argent take to the time trial.
See again that Australian style.
The home of Mozart, Beethoven and Sigmund Freud, Vienna in Austria's east plays host to the STIHL Timbersports World Trophy. The city, known for the arts, museums and imperial palaces, will be rocked by chainsaws, axes and the toughest competitors in the game. To start the competition, the time trial will determine the athlete rankings for the main draw. Joining Brad Delosa in the trophy format is Australia's Jack Argent. Argent won the rookie championship the day previous and was offered a wild card into the competition.
What a new STIHL Timbersports Rookie World Champions!
Taking up the challenge, Argent completed the four-discipline one-man relay in a 1-minute 22-second time.
See again that Australian style of really using a quick axe to get into that wood.
One of the favourites for the competition, Delosa, lines up against Martens from Belgium.
So in the time trial, you want to try and go out and make a bit of a statement. You know, if you can qualify number one, it certainly makes your run a lot easier. You know, not 100% guarantee to win, but it certainly puts you in a better position to have some maybe easier rounds early in the game, you know, which pays dividends later in the game.
At the end of the time trial round, Delosa's 1-minute 5-second time set him up as the #1 ranked athlete for the competition ahead.
Not a bad run, you know, just to blow the cobwebs out. So everything went pretty smooth. You know, can improve on that a little bit in the next few rounds. So good to qualify #1 and move on.
The first round of 16 heat saw Delosa earn a walkthrough. He would compete solo after Oliver Reinhardt withdrew due to injury.
In this particular case, he doesn't really need to worry about anything being on the other side of the stage. You know, he's not competing against anyone. He's got a bye, so this is just going through the motions more or less. He can relax through this one if he wants to, but knowing Brad Delosa, he's probably going to try for a good time. Gives us a good opportunity to show you what this format is all about. So here we go, cutting that first cookie, and he'll head straight towards the block at the front and the underhand chop. Now here it's the same situation as with the individual competitions. He's got to cut through the log from both sides. The difference is you see that block has a complete flat top, whereas in the individual competitions they cut footholds for the athletes. So this is a bit of a different situation there for that underhand chop. And Brad Delosa he's just relaxing through the situation now. He's not really pressing himself. Now moving over to the single buck, that misery whip. He is so solid in this discipline.
Taking advantage of the low pressure run, Delosa rounded the stage in a 1-minute 12-second time, conserving energy as he moved onto the quarterfinals.
Yeah, it's a little bit, you know, hard to gauge how you're going when you have a run by yourself. So I just tried to, yeah, sort of place my hits well and cut it as good as I could. So I think I got around 1:12 somewhere. So just going by yourself, that's probably, you know, not too bad.
In Heat 3, the cross-Tasman rivalry sees New Zealand Jack Jordan take on Australian Jack Argent. The wildcard rookie stepping up to the pro competition will need to dig deep.
Oh, very good start by Jack Argent on that stock saw. Jack Jordan, though, just a bit slow on dropping the axe and the glasses and the ear protection, and they move over to the underhand chop. Jack Argent, he's looking very good. We saw that he was solid in this discipline, but Jack Jordan moved over to the other side about 3 strokes ahead of Jack Argent. There's too many Jacks on stage. This is Jack in the box up there, and now it's Jack Jordan moving over to the single buck. And if he's had any training from the Masters down in New Zealand, he'll be solid in this discipline. Here comes Jack Argent now moving over to the single buck, but Jordan's got a massive lead now as he steps up to the log at the standing block chop. He is the winner of the New Zealand Pro competition, and that's why he's here. He took down some absolute legends and masters of the sport back home, and he's already moved over to the other side. This is a massive accomplishment for that man.
Argent came home strong, but the world rookie champion will leave the World Trophy in the round of 16.
So I wasn't overly happy with it. Anything good would have been all right. I was sort of happy with it, but I know I could have went better.
And now Danny Martin moves over to the other side of his block, just a stroke and a half ahead of Jason Lentz.
Making the cut in the round of 16 and joining Delosa and Jordan was US champion Jason Lentz.
Jason Lentz does it. That was incredible, but Jason Lentz, you get to that point in the standing block chop, and there's no one better than him in that discipline here today.
And not far behind was Pole Michael Debicki.
And now finally gets over there onto the other side, and it's Debicki having a great time for him, but he's won this one hands down without a problem.
This now sees the 16 athletes cut down to the top 8 who will progress to the quarterfinals. Coming up,
he's in it to win it.
We get to the business end of the competition.
Look how smooth he is with the start of that saw. Absolutely incredible skill there.
The STIHL Timbersports World Trophy has taken centre stage in Vienna, Austria. And Australia's Brad Delosa will line up against Belgian Koen Martens in the first quarterfinal.
Every round of the competition, you've got to be thinking about winning. It doesn't take much to have a slip up, or anything can cause you to not go as well as you're hoping or as well as you're capable of. So whether it's a quarterfinal or anything like that, you've got to go out and put your best foot forward.
Athletes, ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Great start by both of them. Wow, Brad Delosa so smooth and quick through that block. Both of them dropping their cookies at the same time, coming over to the underhand chop. A quick stick by Delosa, and Martens has got about a 2-stroke lead though. And now Martens is getting into that block well. He's obviously been working hard. He moves over to the other side of his block, just behind Delosa. The problem here for Martens is when Delosa gets over to that single buck, it's a solid discipline for him, and Martens is already well behind now that Delosa's moved onto that single buck. Look how smooth he is with the start of that saw. Absolutely incredible skill there as Koen Martens moves over and joins him on single buck. Yeah, but the lead now really goes to Brad Delosa. Now keep a close eye on what Delosa's doing here. He was gingerly walking over to the standing block chop. He's relaxing through these hits now. He's got about 6 or 7 hits into that block and now moves over to the other side. So here's where he can save a bit of energy, but he knows that Koen Martens is going to be coming on strong to try and catch up with him, and spends all of his energy there. There it is. And there it is. And he improves his time once again.
Delosa the favourite here, going through quite comfortably in the first quarterfinal heat.
Yeah, it felt pretty good, I've done a lot of training on my fitness, and it's feeling really good, So I cut as well as I had to in them, for, that round to move on and get through the next one.
In the second quarterfinal, Jack Jordan had a scare from Swede Emil Hansen.
The Swede is swinging hard. Jack Jordan is coming close. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Jordan or Hansen. It's going to be Jordan. How close is that?
A DQ for Hansen gave Jordan a lucky win. And again, the Swedes narrowly missed out in the third quarterfinal.
He's in it. He's in it to win it. Ferry Swan struggling to try and catch up. Lenz is moving over to the other side. Ferry Swan now moving over to the other side. It may be close, but Lenz is such a big, strong man. This is absolutely his decision, and it's his to take home. And Jason Lentz is under a minute. Jason Lentz, relentless today.
Also making it through the quarters was big-hitting pole Debicki. The in-form foursome now progressing to the semi-finals and eyeing off a grand final spot. In the first semi-final, Delosa will be going head-to-head with Jack Jordan.
Once you get to the semi-finals, you're almost there. And obviously the rounds are getting harder and harder because you're coming up against some better competitors that have also gone through, and their mindset's the same. So you've really got to win. That's a bit of a motivating factor that in the semi-finals is to push yourself that extra bit harder to give yourself every opportunity for the gold medal.
Delosa, he looks relaxed. He looks calm, collected. He's done this so many times. He knows exactly what he needs to do, and he is the absolute competitor when it comes to timber sports.
His qualification time got him to the top of the table, which allowed him to get a bye straight into the quarterfinals. He's then put down some strong times, which gets him here to the semi-final against Jack Jordan. It is down to just 4. We can only have one winner.
Delosa a little bit quicker to get that saw in place, and it's a nice clean cut so far for Delosa as he gets through it quickly, places the saw down, but Jack Jordan not that far behind, about a stroke and a half as they move to the underhand chop here. Delosa, you can see his cuts very narrow in the front, and now he's going for a wider cut on the backside as both of them move over to the other side of their block pretty much at the same time. Jack Jordan doing a great job to keep up, and now, yeah, just a little piece that needs to be broken away for Jack Jordan as he saw that there was still some wood left and needed to make that cutaway. And now Delosa in a discipline where he's absolutely the master, gets that cookie down after the single buck, and Jack Jordan is struggling and now finally gets it done. But Jack Jordan has been so solid on the chopping disciplines. Let's see if he can catch up to Brad Delosa and perhaps even surpass him to move on to the final. Delosa onto the other side of his block now. Jack Jordan working hard on his. Who's going to be the winner of this one? Is going to be Jack Jordan or Brad Delosa? Delosa's coming close to finishing it off. Jack Jordan's looking like he's got it. Jack Jordan's done it. Jack Jordan beat Delosa. Delosa is not a happy camper there. Jack Jordan has beaten the master. New Zealand has taken down Australia here in Austria at the Rathausplatz. What an incredible comeback for Jack Jordan. Absolutely killer instinct by the young man from New Zealand. Amazing.
I was disappointed, I did enough to probably win that race. I got the lead that I was after. He's a phenomenal cutter, and I sort of had a lead in the standing block and sort of probably went for a drive a little bit early. I probably needed one more hit up before I bought it off, and it might have been a different result, but disappointing. I felt really good, and would have liked to have moved on to the final.
In the second semi, the big guns come out blazing as Lenz prevailed over Dubicki.
But it's going to be Lenz. Lenz is going to get through just past Dubicki, about 3 strokes back.
Setting himself up for the final against Jordan, while Delosa will be playing off against Dubicki for third. The STIHL Timbersports World Trophy has touched down in Vienna, Austria, and we are now in the final stages of the competition. Australia's Brad Delosa has had a dream run through the early stages until he met New Zealander Jack Jordan in the semi-finals.
Delosa's coming close to finishing it off. Jack Jordan's looking like he's got it. Jack Jordan's done it. Jack Jordan beat Delosa. Jack Jordan has beaten the master.
His narrow loss has relegated him to the playoff for third place, where he'll face Polish powerhouse Dubicki. Delosa will be looking to solidify a podium position after winning this competition in 2014, 15 and 2017.
Poland versus Australia.
Here we go.
Delosa versus Dubicki.
Go! Delosa's been so quick with that stock saw today. He's just smooth as silk with that thing. So good as they both move over to the underhand chop now. Look at these guys, they're in sync with each other. They're absolutely in sync now. Moving over to the other side, Dubicki about a half stroke ahead of Delosa. Dubicki strong with the axe. Delosa is looking to try and get over to that single buck ahead of Dubicki. Dubicki having problems getting through that block and goes over to the single buck now. And keep an eye on Dubicki. He'll start with a couple of short choppy cuts and then go in for those long power strokes. But we know that Delosa is so strong with that single buck, and now he moves over to the standing block chop. A little bit of a pause by Dubicki there. That's going to cost him some time getting over to the standing block chop leisurely. He moves over and starts working on the block, but both of these guys have to be absolutely gutted, exhausted after a full day of competition like this. They've been at it for several hours, plus warm-ups and qualifications. And now Dubicki moving over to the other side, but the distinct advantage goes to Delosa here, as he is just doing his absolute utter best to get that thing on. And he does it. Delosa's got third place on the podium. What a great job. And Dubicki is absolutely wasted. He has zero energy left, just enough for one more hit, and he is thanking the heavens that this is over.
Yeah, I feel pretty good actually. Pretty disappointed not to get through to the final. I sort of did enough in that last race to get there, but just the last couple of hits let me down a little bit. So Yeah, very disappointed not to have another crack at the gold, but you know, sometimes things don't work out how you want it to be, so I'll have to settle for bronze this time.
Meeting in the grand final will be New Zealander Jack Jordan and Jason Lenz from the US. Jordan placed 4th in the time trial and beat Argent, Hansen and Delosa to earn his final spot.
Jack Jordan's done it. Jack Jordan beat Delosa.
On the other side, Lenz placed 2nd in the time trial, overcoming Danny Martin, Svan and Debicki to now fight for the 2022 trophy title.
And it's going to be Lenz. Jason Lenz, relentless today.
This is talent, this is performance. That's what's put these two gentlemen here. So here it is. This is what the whole weekend of preparation has been for.
3, 2, 1, go! Great start by both of them. Two different styles, position-wise, for that stock saw. Jason Lenz looks like he got through there just a hair faster. Jack Jordan moving over to the underhand chop, about a stroke behind Jason Lenz now on the underhand, but Jack Jordan's been really good on the chopping disciplines all day long today. Let's see if he can make a difference here against Jason Lenz on the right-hand side of the stage. Jack Jordan looking good. Jason Lenz getting close. Jack Jordan's through, moving over to the single buck, about 2-3 strokes ahead of Jason Lenz, but he gets a big hook up on the single buck, and Jordan is now moving on to that single buck with good flow, and so is Jason Lenz. Jason Lenz absolutely relentless. Jack Jordan gets to the standing block chop just ahead of Jason. Jason knows he's got to really work hard here, and this is the advantage for Lenz now on that standing block, but Jack Jordan's moved over to the other side ahead of Jason Lenz. It's going to be Jack Jordan taking this one down today. It's going to be a close one, and it's going so quickly here for Jack Jordan. Jason Lenz coming hard from the back end. One more driver, and it's going to be Jack Jordan. He is your new champion in the trophy format. Unbelievable, fantastic event by the Kiwi. Oh boy, did they ever put everything out there on the field. And look at that. I think those might be a little bit of a smile and some tears of joy from Jack Jordan. What an unbelievable effort by that young man. Jason Lenz, what a great job by the big American. He was so solid today. He is gutted in 2nd place. Oh, unbelievable.
Give it up for this bronze medalist.
So, with the last block cut, Australia's Brad Delosa claims the bronze medal. Lenz takes 2nd. And New Zealander Jack Jordan is the 2022 World Trophy Champion.
Didn't cut real well the last few races. I was pretty lucky to even make the final. That final there, I actually broke my axe in that down block, come around the back and open up one too high. And so I was quite lucky to get the win there.